You have seen the movies, the sirens go off and the news anchor screams about a breach. The hero grabs a tactical backpack and throws it into a truck. He drives off into the sunset to live off the land. It looks cool, it looks heroic, it looks like a plan. But here is the brutal reality that Hollywood does not show you. That hero did not make it to the mountains. That hero died 18 miles outside the city limits in traffic. Traffic has not moved in 6 hours and he is dehydrated. Surrounded by 3 million people who had the exact same idea, bugging out is not a survival strategy, it is a suicide pact you make with your own anxiety. If you leave your home during a collapse, you are not a survivor. You are a refugee, you are a loot drop on 2 legs. Today we look at why leaving your house gets you killed. Let us start with the math of the road. You live in a city or a suburb. You and 2 million of your closest strangers in a normal rush hour traffic crawls because capacity is 90%. In a bug-out scenario, capacity hits 5,000% instantly. This is basic fluid dynamics applied to steel and asphalt. Every lane and every shoulder is filled with vehicles. You think you are going to weave through traffic. You are not. You are going to sit in a metal box becoming an oven. And here is the variable you forgot: fuel. Gas pumps run on electricity. When the grid goes down, pumps stop. That means the gas currently in the tanks is the only gas. Once cars run dry, they do not vanish. They become 2-ton barricades. A single stalled car blocks a lane. 1,000 stalled cars create a wall. You are not driving to safety, you are driving into a parking lot. You lock the doors while desperate people walk between rows. They are looking for water and you are trapped. But let us say you abandon the car. You grab your 70-pound bug-out bag filled with gear. You decide to hike. Welcome to the calorie trap. Walking with a heavy load burns 600 calories an hour. In cold weather you burn even more just staying warm. Do you have 10,000 calories of food in that bag? No, you have 3 MREs and a bag of beef jerky. You are burning fuel faster than you can replace it. You are literally walking yourself to death. And water. Water weighs 8.3 pounds per gallon. You can carry maybe a gallon that lasts one day. After that you are drinking from streams. Everyone else is upstream doing their business in the water. You are going to get dysentery. Diarrhea in a survival situation is not an inconvenience. It is a death sentence. It dehydrates you and drains your electrolytes. It leaves you too weak to walk. You died because you thought you could hike 50 miles, all on a Snickers bar and filtered puddle water. Now let us talk about the lone wolf fantasy. You think you are going to the woods to live. Let us be honest, you do not know how to hunt. You have never skinned a squirrel. You do not know which berries shut down your kidneys. The woods are not a grocery store. They are a competitive ecosystem where everything eats everything else. You are the slow, soft, hairless newcomer. The wild animal population cannot support a sudden influx of hunters. Within 2 weeks, every deer and rabbit will be hunted to extinction by the wave of starving refugees. You will not be hunting elk. You will be fighting a guy named Steve over a rat. There is also the issue of exposure. Your house has insulation. It has a roof. It has walls that cut the wind. A tent is a piece of nylon. If it rains and you get wet, hypothermia sets in. You do not need freezing temperatures to die of cold. You just need to be wet and unable to get dry. In your house you can pile on blankets. In the woods you are shivering in a damp sleeping bag. Your body temperature drops 1 degree every hour until you die. The elements have a kill count higher than any looter. Your house is a life support system. Leaving it is like an astronaut taking off his helmet. Let us look at the human element, the golden horde. This is the massive wave of people fleeing the city. When you bug out, you are part of this horde. You are indistinguishable from the panic. If you head to a rural area, locals will not welcome you. They know that more people means fewer resources. They will block the roads and drop trees across driveways. They will defend their land. To them, you are not a refugee. You are a swarm of locusts coming to eat their crops. You are walking into hostile territory with zero local knowledge. You are trading the security of your known neighborhood for a gauntlet of angry property owners preparing for this. Then there is the tactical target problem. You bought the camouflage backpack and the tactical vest. You look cool, you also look like a loot box. In a collapse, predators look for high-value targets. A guy struggling with a duffel bag looks like he has nothing. A guy in tactical gear looks like he has ammo. You are advertising your net worth to everyone with a rifle. You painted a target on your back looking like a soldier. Real survival is about being invisible. It is about looking like you have nothing worth taking. Hiking down a highway in full battle rattle is the opposite. It is a billboard that says free supplies here. Now consider the time factor. Most disasters are temporary. A blackout might last a week, a storm might last 2. Civil unrest usually burns out when people get hungry. If you stay home, you just have to wait it out. You have your pantry, you have your bed, you have your hygiene supplies. If you leave, you turn a temporary emergency into a permanent crisis. You leave behind months of food to carry 3 days' worth. Why? Because you got scared, because you panicked, because the silence in your house felt creepy. That fear is a liar. The silence is safety. The noise is out there on the road, where the sirens and the screaming and the gunfire are happening. Let us talk about sanitation. This is the unsexy killer. In your house, you can create a dedicated waste system. You can bag waste, you can bury it in the yard, you can keep your hands clean. On the road, hygiene is impossible. You are touching dirty surfaces and shaking hands. You are sleeping in mud. A simple cut on your finger gets infected. Without antibiotics, that infection turns into sepsis. You die of a fever 3 days later in a ditch, all because you left your sink and your soap. Survival is not about fighting zombies, it is about fighting germs, and the home field advantage is the only way to win. There are exceptions, of course. If your house is on fire, leave. If a hurricane is hitting your direct location, evacuate immediately. If a chemical plant explodes, upwind, go. But these are immediate localized threats. In a general collapse or a grid-down scenario, your home is your fortress. Even a bad apartment is better than a good tent. You know the layout, you know which floorboards creak, you know your neighbors, you can fortify a door. You cannot fortify a campsite. So what should you do instead? You bug in, you turn your home into a hardened shell. You black out the windows so nobody sees your light. You fill the bathtub with water the second the power flickers. You eat the perishable food first. You set up a security perimeter. You stay quiet. You let the golden horde flow past you on the highway, burning their gas and fighting over road space. While you sit in your living room eating cold SpaghettiOs, you do not volunteer to be a victim. You make yourself a ghost. The psychology of bugging out is rooted in fight or flight. It feels proactive. Doing something feels better than doing nothing. Packing a bag feels like taking control. Sitting in a dark house feels passive. But survival requires suppressing that urge. It requires the discipline to do nothing, to sit still, to conserve calories, to deny the enemy any information. The road offers nothing but variables you cannot control. The weather and the other drivers and the ambush points. Your home offers variables you can control. You control the temperature and the light and the noise. Stop fantasizing about the apocalypse. Stop dreaming about walking the wasteland with your dog. That is a fantasy that ends with you dead of a tooth infection in a muddy hole. Real survival is boring. It is quiet. It is sitting in a room waiting for chaos to settle. The people who bug out are the first wave of casualties. The people who stay put and lock their doors, those are the ones who are still there when the lights come back on. Do not be a hero, be a hermit. Heroes die, hermits survive.